Hey, this is Brian Knowlton with the Appraisers Club. I have Teresa Brown on the call here. She's from DataMaster, and we met over at the Valuation Expo conference. And I thought, I've been using their product for over a year now, and I don't know why it took me so long to get started. It was one of those things where other appraisers were telling me, look, if you're really looking to speed up the time that it takes to complete your appraisal reports, you really need to start importing your data. And I tried other things before. I tried the system with ACI for inputting data and always ran into little stumbling blocks. And I don't know what their system is like anymore. I frankly wouldn't try it from what I've heard. But there are other systems available, but nothing from my own experience and other appraisers that I know could compare or even come close to DataMaster. They really keep their software up to date. Everything seems to be functioning all the time, and I just hope they're available everywhere soon. But I'm down here in Southern California in San Diego, so I've been using it for a while now, and it's really cut hours off of some reports. I'm a very quick typist, so luckily I at least have that going for me. I could get all my data into my report within a few minutes. So it's really amazing. But I have Teresa Brown here on the line. How are you doing, Teresa?
I'm good. Thanks for letting us do this with you today.
Yeah, I've been dying to do this for such a long time. I'm glad that we were able to talk over at the Valuation Expo. And you guys have such a great product. And I always urge everyone to give it a try. Do you have a trial?
Yes, actually we do. We believe in our product so firmly that we know that if an appraiser will test it out, we give a 2-week trial. We know if you'll let us do a little training for you like you'll see today, then and you do that 2-week trial, that you will sign up, you will be hooked.
Yeah.
And once someone signs up for DataMaster, we do a month-to-month subscription because we're so confident that you're just going to keep using it, and people do not stop using DataMaster unless they stop appraising. It's such an exciting company to work for, and we're just growing like crazy, opening new areas all the time. So if you're not in an area where you can get DataMaster yet, please call us anyway. Tell us that you want it, because we're going to the areas first where we have the longest list of people asking for us.
Yeah, that's really great. And how many areas do you think you cover right now?
Well, we're nationwide. We have really good coverage in Southern California. I'm not exactly sure how many markets that we're in, over 20, which nationwide, that doesn't sound like a lot, but we're in major metropolitan areas. So we're in Washington, D.C., we're in Long Island, Detroit, Dallas. So we're covering, big metropolitan areas, and then we've got some littler ones. Basically, if someone knows the owner of our company, Rick Lifford, then, if you see him at a conference or something and you walk up and you shake his hand and say, I can help you get into our area, then that's where we're going next, because he does a lot of this business by handshake, and if he knows somebody and somebody's asking for it and they have a connection to their MLS somehow, then that's where we're going to go.
Yeah, because I guess the difficulties in this type of stuff is everyone's data is formatted differently. So every time that you go into a new area, you have to almost create a new system to import that data into yours.
We do. We have a full staff of programmers to do exactly that. So, for example, we're going into Indianapolis. Well, we're already there. We're doing beta testing right now, and we expect to release it within a week. But our programmers have to essentially rewrite the program, because each MLS is just a little bit different in how they're setting up their data. And they, of course, have learned some tricks, and they can do this process pretty fast now. But really the biggest obstacle that we have is that we've got to go and get a contract with each MLS. We will not steal data. So that's our obstacle. Our biggest obstacle is getting to each MLS and having contacts there and getting an agreement, a contract set up with them.
Right.
But people, the more people hear about us, like I said, we're going into new markets. We're expanding so fast now. When I first started work here about 3 years ago, we were opening, 1 or 2 markets a year, and now it's like 1 or 2 a month.
Wow.
So it's really picked up the pace.
How long has DataMaster been around?
DataMaster has been around about 20 years. The owner of our company is an appraiser, has been appraising for almost 40 years, and when the personal computers came into existence, he said to himself, why am I still typing this data? So that was the beginning of the idea for him, and he started it just as a little company in Utah, that's where we're based, and started it kind of as a co-op for appraisers to share data. And then he started thinking about it some more, and his main thing was, I know this data is already in the MLS, how can I get it into a form? And so we've probably been in our current version for about 10 years. He's been out there marketing this, but in the last 5 years, probably in the most recent, I don't know what you'd call it, release, major upgrade of DataMaster, the format that as you see it now, that it's probably been that way for about 5 years. And of course, last year with UAD, we did a major upgrade with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that almost makes me cry thinking that I haven't used it for that long. So.
Oh yeah, we've been in San Diego for a very long time.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, well, I was paying my wife, I believe, $25 to $35 a report to import less data than DataMaster does. So, it was good for her to be able to have some extra spending money, but she got outsourced by DataMaster, unfortunately.
Oh, that's great. We hear that all the time.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, I would like to give your information as much as possible right now. I mean, if people are listening, I really urge you to at least, while you're listening to this or watching it, just go sign up for the trial, see if it's available in your area, and we're going to start the presentation. Should they just go to datamasterusa.com to find out if it's available in their area?
Yes, you can go there and just click on where it says, do you want a free trial? Click on that. It's going to ask you for some registration information, and within that page there'll be a list of the MLSs that we're currently integrated with. The other thing that you can do if you just want to call us, our number is 888-362-9222. And we can answer your questions and just tell you if we're in your area. If we are, we would love to set up a training that's going to be pretty much like this for you so that you can actually have the hands-on experience and know how to use DataMaster, plus get the product customized for you so that when the information goes into your report, it's exactly the way that you want it to be.
Yeah, and that even saves you more time. I haven't spent a lot of time customizing mine, and we'll walk through some of that today. But the savings just for getting that raw data into your reports and filling out the 1004 MC or doing a rent schedule or something like that is amazing. And if you really take the time to customize it with a sales associate, you'll be blown away. I mean, I'm looking forward to making some changes in my report, and I'm sure there's plenty more I could make, but, if just give them a try, I really urge you to give them a call, try it out. You'll be amazed. I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not getting any affiliate commission or any kickbacks. I just really love their product. So I really urge you to give it a try. Don't hesitate. There's nothing to lose. So anyhow, so on with that. How would you like to start off with the first step? I already have the software on my computer, as you can see here. They would normally just download that right off the website?
Yes, yeah. You download it off the website, and this is essentially what we're looking at here is page 1 of DataMaster. So the first thing that you would do, and you've already done that, is to select your profile and your form. If you want to click on the drop-down for profile, you can see that you have a choice between default and UAD. Most of you are just going to have it on UAD pretty much all the time. Default is for anything that wouldn't be UAD, so if you were doing a general purpose or a 2 to 4, then you could go ahead and choose that profile. For today, we're just going to leave it on UAD. And then I want you to go to the forms. Okay, so now we've got a list of all the different forms that are available to push into ACI, because that's what Brian uses, is ACI. We integrate with all of the major software companies, though, so that is not an issue. But each one will have a little bit different list, mainly because the software companies have not exactly named them different things, but just little differences between them. Anyway, so the main thing to remember with the profile in the form is, if you have a UAD profile, to choose a UAD form. So you've already selected your 1004 UAD, but you could select the 1073 UAD, the 1075 UAD, but always make sure you have that matching. We get tons of calls because people don't have that matching, and then they feel really dumb. Because it's such a quick thing to fix.
Yeah,
but you'll never make the mistake and call us twice.
Yeah, I think I had that problem a few times where I was like, oh, this isn't working. I was like, okay, I have to have it on UAD.
That's right, that's right. Okay, and then we have the list of addenda right underneath profile and form. If you need to use any of these for your particular report, then you just check the box for whichever one that you needed.
Okay.
For today, let's just go to the little house there for enter subject information. Click on that. Okay, that brings you to our subject property information page. You're going to click on number 1, enter the data source, click on that drop down, and you have a choice between pulling your subject from the MLS or from the county. If you have a listing number and you can put that in, you'll get more information because it'll pull from the MLS and public records. Okay. But if you don't, it's a refinance or whatever, then you'll just choose whatever county that it's in and put in your APN. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get MLS information. It's just less likely. In San Diego, we're getting so much information that it probably doesn't matter. But there are areas where if you put in an APN, all you're going to get is public records information.
I see.
So do you have a property we can use today as a subject?
Yeah, I haven't done the actual inspection yet, but I did pull some comparables,
okay.
So we could walk through that. And this is for a refinance, so I just have the APN.
So go ahead and enter that in number 2. Then you'll also notice right underneath where that number goes, we have a little checkbox that says Get Plat Map. That's not available in every area. As a matter of fact, I think it's only available in 3 areas, but San Diego is one of them. So the Plat Map will be part of the report without you having to do anything as long as that box is checked. Yeah. So now we're going to go to your right and click on Get Subject Data. So it's just going to go grab that information.
And I have a kind of a slow internet connection at my office. At home, it seems like, bam, it just pops up in 1 second. So you might notice a little tiny delay.
Okay. All right. So you can see on this particular one, we were only able to pull public records information, which is saying that this property probably hasn't been listed for a very long time. Okay. But we have our subject information. The next step is to get the comps. Now, for the comps, you have 2 choices. If you know your listing numbers, you can pull them right from this page, and I think that's what you're going to do today, Brian.
Yeah. What I usually end up doing is I'll go over to this button over here, Get Comparables, and then I'll just click on Manual Entry just so they're all lined up in one spot. But what's the other options that you have?
All right, so go back to the View Data page.
Oh, let's see. View Data.
Okay. Actually, let's go back to Get Comparables for just a second so I can talk about this. So if you don't know your listing numbers, you can click on where it says Go to Sandicor or on the Sandicor icon. That just is a link to the download page or the login page for Sandicor. So you don't have to use that, but that'll just take you to the MLS and you can set up your search like you normally would. Now, I'm not going to actually go through and show you how to get your comps out because we'll go through the exact same process for the 1004NC of getting comps. So I'm only going to show it to you once, but it works for both your comps and the 1004NC. So now go back to the View Data tab there on the left.
Okay.
So from this page, under Comp 1, if you click on the drop-down for the data source line, then click Sandicor, and then the next box down, go ahead and put in your listing numbers. And you just put listing numbers going across for as many comps as you want to pull.
Okay, let's see. Oops.
How many comps are we going to pull today, Brian?
It's going to be 7.
Okay.
And I know. And I'm typing. I have my system all rearranged right now, so I normally have 3 monitors and a different keyboard all plugged into a laptop so I could be mobile. And it's a little difficult with my current setup to type these in, but I'm getting there. We'll be there in 1 second.
Yeah, we're almost done. Now, what I'm concerned about is down at the bottom of the page, your Get Data button is grayed out.
Oh, really?
I wonder if that's because you have that manual entry thing open. So go back to that and let's see if we can close it or something.
Go back to what?
The manual entry on the left-hand side.
Oh, put it in there still.
Oh, they're entering them in there, too.
Oh, I'll just hit Get Data here then.
Yeah, just hit Get Data from there.
Yeah, that's where I usually put all of that information in just because I could see quickly, like they all line up. I can see that if I'm missing a number or one might be off a little bit, I could identify it really quick. I like that page. But I want to try that export file sometime.
And you can see that, there's 3 different options just right there. For, so whatever works best for you in your workflow is what you can use. And there's a lot of appraisers that will, like you've done, you've decided on your comps, but you haven't driven them yet. And so you can do it either way. If you want to go into the MLS and export them straight from the MLS because you want to look at them in DataMaster before you go drive them, then that's an option. If you go drive them first and then you come back and you know which ones that you've chosen, then this is the better way to do it, is to pull it right from within DataMaster. All right, so now we've got the comps. A couple things I need to show you here. First, if you hover in the center of any of the photographs, you're going to get a message that says to double-click. Go ahead and do that. Double-click on it. So we just have a little bit more information available for you.
Oh, yeah.
We've got MLS information side by side with public records. Down below we've got listings on this property, and at the very bottom we've got your deed transfers. So just a little bit more information is available on each of the properties. So go ahead and X out of that box. Then the next thing that you'll notice is in the bottom left-hand corner of each of the photographs, there's a check mark. If that box is checked, that means the photo's going into your report. And you have the option, you can set it up so that those photos, the boxes are always checked and they'll go into your report, or the photos can come in, they'll still come in, and the boxes could all be unchecked if you don't want the photos to go into your report. Or if you need to send a particular photo or not send one, you don't like the photo that's in here, or it's an interior photo or something, you can uncheck the box.
Okay.
So lots of options there also.
Yeah, and I don't ever use the photos in my actual report, but I like to have them there just so if I'm adding my photo over the one that's been imported already and there's a discrepancy, then I know I made a mistake somewhere. So, it's kind of
it's like a reference.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, as you look down through this grid, you can see that we already have quite a bit of this in the UAD formatting. So, for example, on your closing date line, we've got the small s with the month and the year, and the small c with the month and the year. Okay, and you go down to what's another good example? Well, let's go up to the finance line, and those are coming in as arm's length. Okay, so you can customize this so that all of these fields are coming in as UAD, and we've done as much of that for you as we can. Okay, there's still customizing that you can do, and we'll do that later. Right now we're just going to gather data and send it into the report so you can see how quickly this whole process can go. So
Okay.
far we've got the subject, we've got the comps. The next step is to get the information for the market conditions, the 1004NC. So for that we'll want to go to the MLS.
Okay. And this I didn't set up, so I'll run my quick search here.
All right, there's just a couple of things with DataMaster that you're going to want to make sure that you do. You can set up pretty much any parameters that you want, and go ahead and keep setting up parameters while we're talking here. The two things that you want to make sure that you do is to choose all the statuses that you would normally use. You don't have to break this up into searches where you're doing your actives and then you're coming back and doing your solds and then you're coming back and doing your pendings and then you're coming back and doing your expireds. Any one of those that you want to use, we're going to let DataMaster do all the work. So you choose them all at one time. So that's a time saver right there. Then the other thing that you want to make sure that you do is to go back at least a year. So you don't have to break it into the 3 different periods, current to 3 months, 4 to 6, and 7 to 12, and do separate searches on those. You go back the full year. We actually recommend that you even go back a little further than that, so that, if something was listed 1 year and a day ago, unless you go back a little bit further, you're not going to get that. And so it may have been a current listing on the date when, we're actually looking at that information, but you won't pick it up because you didn't go back. So that's why we recommend you go back maybe 18 months instead of just the year.
Oh, I see.
We do not argue with appraisers about this, though. Whatever they want to do is fine.
That makes that kind of makes sense.
There are kind of regional differences in the way that appraisers are even taught, which you wouldn't think that would happen with USPAP and everything, but there really are differences in how across the nation how appraisers specifically are handling the 1004NC.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, oh boy, for you guys, I'm sure, huh? Let's see.
Okay, so once you get that set up, you can go ahead and click on your search results.
And I know the pendings don't matter. That's not going to be inputted because it's considered a sold transaction at this point, right?
What Fannie Mae has told us is, if it's pending, it doesn't count as sold and it doesn't count as active. Okay, because it's in that kind of gray area. Now, but if you've pulled your pendings, so if they were active in the other periods, the 4 to 6 or the 7 to 12, then they will show up there.
Oh,
but they're not going to show up as being active today because they're not.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And they're not going to show up as sold because technically they're not sold either.
Right.
Okay? But you still want to include them as part of the history of it. Okay? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to check them so that they're all checked. So just, there you go. And then click download. All right. And then comma delimited. No, actually I'm wrong. It's different in each MLS. So this one you're actually going to choose DataMaster. And then click next. And then click on that residential system grid. And this is where you really do need a trial and a training session, because each MLS is going to be a little different than this.
Right.
Go ahead and click next again. All right, and then we're going to click. Now, do you usually save it or do you open it?
I save it.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
It usually works either way, but I like to just save it just in case.
Sure. Okay, so then you'll just go ahead and go back to DataMaster.
Okay.
Okay, and then, File. Click on File, and then Load Export File. And then you're just going to go find where that's saved.
There's a lot in there. I don't delete them either, so I should.
Now, one thing that you could do is a lot of appraisers will actually name them something so they can find them by street address or something like that.
Yeah, I guess it's good to save as part of, save your data.
Yeah. So go ahead and click Send the Data to the main section of the Market Conditions Report. We do have the two sections, so we can do the condo section also.
Okay.
All right, and you can see now we've got the grid filled in for you. It's up to you to set the trends, and you can either do that here or in your report. Either way is fine. Then down below, we've got comments. These comments will change every time based on the numbers that have just been pulled in. Also, the comments, you can completely edit them. So if you have wording that you prefer over ours, there's no problem, and I'll show you really quickly the page to go to customize those comments. So just a couple more things to show you here. On the left-hand side, I want you to see the Market Conditions tab. I want you to go down to the Help button under that. So the fifth one down, click on that. This is the page that you're going to come to if you have any questions on how we're calculating the 1004MC. It's pretty much going to go through this line by line.
Wow.
A lot of appraisers will actually print this out and put it in their report, or copy and paste it somehow. So it's actually in their report. They get less questions from lenders if they do that.
Yeah, I would imagine that'd be good. I mean, everyone really, all the companies I work with, I think they really love the detail that's already included in the 1004MC that I use, that I create with DataMaster.
Mm-hmm.
But this would, yeah, even give more information if it was required. That's amazing.
Okay, now I want you to go up one from that Help button to where it says Comments. This is the page that you'll come to if you want to make any changes to the comments. You just click on the Edit button for whichever one that you want to change. And you can, for example, on the summary, all we're pulling in is the effective date. We figure the summary's up to you.
Yeah.
If you have something that you've got a default for, you know, you're pretty much saying the same thing every time, then you can copy and paste it into here, and then it'll just automatically go into your report. And then if there's certain fields you want to change in there, you can. Or if it's just a standard thing, you say the same thing every time, that's in there.
Yeah, that's really that's a good idea, because right now I do get it from a number of different places inside of my report and copy it over, but I could easily change that down to where I might just have to change the dates occasionally,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
things like that. That's great.
Okay, now I want you to go up 3 from the Comments tab to where it says Graphs on the left.
Okay.
Yep, go up 2 more. There you go. Are you using the graphs?
No, I don't know why I took them out, but I need to start using them again.
Okay, so let me just show you real quick. There are 16 graphs that can go into your report here. With ACI, which is what you're using, you could have all the graphs that you want. Some of the softwares limit us, but ACI does not. And what we do is we send them into ACI in groups of 4. Okay, so we'll just do 4 today. So the first thing I want you to do is up at the very top, you see the little box that says Show Trend right above the total sales. Yeah, right there. Check that box. So now I've got trend lines, and then go right to the right of that where it says Default Graph Settings.
Click on that.
Uh-huh. So on the right here, you've got a list of all 16 graphs. And we've got some combination graphs. So those are the ones I want you to choose today, just so you can see how DataMaster puts the graphs in there. So I want you to check the third box down, Total Sales and Active Listings, and that is a combination of the first 2. Then I want you to go down 3 more, Median Sales and List Price, and then 3 more, Median Sales and Listings Days on Market. So those are combination ones. Then I want you to pick 1 more from the group that's left. The most popular is probably housing supply, but it's all up to you.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
If you want to use that one for today.
I like the idea for sales price per square foot, just so you could kind of get a rough idea of the adjustments that you could make based off of that number. But yeah, I like that housing supply as well. So I'm just going to leave it on housing supply.
And with ACI, like I said, if you wanted to choose 8 graphs, you could have 8 graphs. We just add the page in ACI twice. Okay? We have discovered it looks better if you fill it up, fill up the page. So use 4 graphs, 8 graphs, 12 graphs.
Okay.
Okay? All right, now, a couple other things here. If you go on the other side of this box up at the top, it says graph type and bars in that drop down. Click on that, and then go ahead and change this to a line graph. So you can decide if you like the line graph better or the bar graph.
I like.
Okay, totally up to you. And then right underneath, you've got trend type linear.
Okay.
Click on that. I want you to change it to a curved line. I like the curved line better. I think it gives a little more detail as to what's going on, but it's all up to you.
Yeah.
And then also our programmers went a little crazy here. You can change the colors to anything you would like, and you can change your lines from solid lines to dashed lines to dotted lines. So there's all kinds of options here if you're interested in that kind of thing, or if one of the colors on here, usually orange is the one that gets changed to black or something because, you know, someone doesn't like that orange color.
Yeah. Wow.
Most appraisers just leave it alone, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so for now, go ahead and X out of this. Now you've got your ACI report open and this information, you know, ready to receive it. But we need to open up ACI for just a second and add the page for the graphs to go on.
Okay.
So you're going to go to that, File, and then, what is it, Add Remove Forms. And you're looking for the extra photo page with 4 photos.
Oh, I have like a million of those over here.
Oh, do you? But you need one with 4 photos.
Yeah, I use so many photos in my appraisal reports now that I have 7 extra photo pages. Let's see, this one, right?
Nope, that's not the one.
Oh.
So scroll down. That's what I'm saying. You want the one that says extra photo page 4 photos.
Oh, I see. These do have 4.
So there's a specific page that these are going to go on to, and if it doesn't find it in your report, then you won't get there it is.
Okay.
Now, a lot of appraisers will move that up so it's right underneath the market conditions page, too. I don't know if you want to do that.
That's a good idea. All right.
Okay. So go ahead and save that, and then we can go back to DataMaster.
So I'll do that in my template the next time I make template adjustments, so it's just always there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back to DataMaster, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to click on where it says Send to Report. All right. Okay, so it's giving you a message about the plot map. You can say yes or no if you want to use the plot map.
Yeah, I really like that. It actually saves me a lot of time because sometimes our public record is slow. It just takes like an extra couple minutes, you know, and this way it's right in the report. I could bring it up, get the dimensions. It's great.
Okay, now this is your prior sales information that you're looking at here. So we're looking at your subject property. If you want to use one of these as your prior sale, then you'll just click the selected box, and then the box down in the corner, Use Selected Information, will ungray itself. There you go. So then it's going to go through each of the comps and ask the same question. If for some reason you don't want to use it, it's too far back, you know, whatever reason, like for example, those two, looks like the first 2 of those are maybe the current sale.
Let's see, 620. Oh yeah, probably is. Yeah, so I'd want to use that. I tend to, even though it's more than a year, I'll still put it into the report, even if it's just a transfer. But I'm sure that varies greatly depending on who you're doing your appraisal reports for.
Yeah. Some appraisers, you don't have to go back more than a year on your comps, and so they won't go back more than that.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's fine. That's fine. So now what we're looking at here is the exceptions report. This will show discrepancies between the MLS and public records. So if there's a difference, we're looking mostly at bathrooms here. If there's a difference in the bathroom count, the bedroom count, the lot size, this will show up here. You can print this and put it into your work file if you want to. For today, let's just go ahead and click on Continue with Import.
Yeah, I really like that for verifying information because we have a lot of unpermitted changes here in San Diego. It's probably that way everywhere, but especially here.
Okay, so with ACI, it's going to pop up this question here. We're going to choose the third one here. Use the current report to import the data into because the report's open already. Okay, and now you see the information has just popped in. And this was blank, right? And so everything you're seeing, or did you have no, you did have a template.
I had a template. It's just, just some really basic information is already checked. But yeah, imports a lot
Now
of the
on the
data here.
subject page, yeah, on the subject page, we're pulling in about the first 5 or 6 lines, and then most of the rest of this here will be from your template or from a clone. Then as you scroll down, you can see we pick up the lot size. We'll pick up zoning in most areas. Some
Yeah.
areas will get the FEMA information. And then you'll see we pull in the year built, the design style, the room counts. We put in your basement information. But most of the subject page is still going to be your responsibility
Yeah,
to fill
definitely.
out. Okay?
I find most of the stuff is fairly accurate, and I have to double check everything, but I do like that it pulls the year and even the type of heating cooling systems if it's available.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and go to the comps page.
Let's see, comps. Oh,
There you go. All right, so now you can see how much information that we've filled in here. And this is the page that we can really help you with in terms of customizing. So, for example, on the verification source line, we're pulling in the doc number and the doc date. The next, not the data source line, the next one. The data source line is UAD, so it's got to be filled in that way. But the verification source line, we're pulling in that doc number and the doc date. That's just how we do it in our office in Salt Lake. So we've set that up as a default. A lot of appraisers seem to like that. But UAD has no requirements on that line. So if you wanted to put in the real estate agent's name or just something that says MLS/county records, I mean, you can put anything you want in that line because, like I said, UAD has not said anything about that line. So that's a line that can be customized.
okay.
As you look down through here, functional utility, we've set the default to be average. That can be changed. Energy efficient, depending on where you are in the country, some people will put in their insulated windows because that's what's going on in terms of energy efficiency most of the time. So we'll get into that. And then at the very bottom you can see we've got the extra items, and you've set up fireplaces, pool amenities, and listing type as your extra items. Anything can be set up there that you would like.
Yeah.
A lot of appraisers use fireplaces as one of them. In California we see pool spa a lot as one of those lines. But if you go to Tennessee, for example, driveways is one of the lines because it's a big deal to them whether that driveway is made of asphalt, gravel, concrete. And so you can have anything you want there, fences, landscaping, days on market. I mean, days on market is up above, but a lot of people will put in cumulative days on market as one of those.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of DataMaster. You can have anything you want in those lines.
The main thing I'm doing now these days is I try to standardize my templates as much as possible. And so a lot of people have been asking for me to put like the seller, the off-market date, and the listing type into the report. So that's what I've been doing on all of mine now. So maybe you could help me. I'm not sure if I could get the seller information, but I should be able to get the off-market date. And would I be able to get the listing type? Probably no.
What are you looking there for specifically?
Yeah, I guess I really couldn't because it varies so much. But I usually put traditional listing, or if it's a short sale, or a REO. Or a state?
It depends on, we might have, the only way to tell it would be to go back into DataMaster, and we can do some customizing. But before we do that, let's go ahead and show them the Channel 4MC page.
Okay.
So really, there's no surprises on this page. It's just exactly the way that it was in DataMaster. And you didn't set any of the trends, which is fine. You can do them once you get into your report. But it's basically exactly the way it was in DataMaster. And then we'll want to go and look at the next one down, the next page down, the extra 4 photo page. That will be the graph page.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
All right. Now these graphs, actually we can get them to look better in ACI, and this is very important to know how to do this. And I I think you could probably set it so it's the default, but I don't know ACI well enough. So I can just show you how to do it. Go to Options at the top of the page, and then Report. And then you're going to click Photo Options, just the second one down there, and then uncheck the bottom box that says Resize and Crop Photo, and then just click OK.
Oh, why is it 3x5? If I'm using 4x6 standard, does that matter? Do you know?
I don't know. I've never messed with that.
I'll just leave it.
That's an experiment you could do on your own.
Yeah.
So now you can see that the graphs actually fit within the box, and you can see all the dates going across and the numbers going up.
Oh,
the
yeah.
side there.
Okay.
So that looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll also want to take a look at the comp photos. So on the left there, yeah, if you go to that. So those photos have dropped in there.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah.
So that's all the information in DataMaster. Okay. So the next thing that we would want to talk about is customizing. I want to ask you though, Brian, how are we doing here for time? Are we okay to do this customizing now, or do you want to do that as a separate thing?
You know, we might as well just keep going. And what I
Okay.
could do is I could break it into a 2-part series after the fact. So that's not a problem. I'll be editing this out, what we're talking about right now, so that'll be great.
Okay.
So let's try some customization. That'd be great.
Okay. So what I need you to do is go ahead and open DataMaster, back up down at the bottom. And I'm just going to teach you how to customize some of the fields and try to hit the high points of customizing. So what I'd like you to do first is to go to your heating and cooling line and just click on Format Data.
Okay, and another thing I wanted to point out too is normally when you're being walked through this presentation, you could do it all on your own like I am, where she's instructing me how to make these changes. But they also have the option to take control of your desktop to make these changes for you and to help you along. So I thought we'd do it this way today, just for the benefit of see that, yes, anyone could get this done. So it's not a problem.
Exactly right.
But if you don't feel comfortable, she could do it for you as well.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I just forgot what the other thing was, so maybe it'll come up again in my brain, sorry. Okay, so as we're looking at the heating tag, you can see we're bringing in the heating fuel, the heating type, and the cooling type. Okay, under heating fuel, a lot of appraisers, I'd say 50% of appraisers want that on this line and 50% don't.
Okay.
So it's an individual decision. Would you want the heating fuel on this line or just have the heating type and the cooling type come in?
Into the comparable section?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, just the heating type. I don't need the fuel.
Okay, so how to delete one of these tags is right next to where it says heating fuel. You can just click on the red button. That's our delete button. Okay, now under heating type, go ahead and click where it says edit.
Let's see. Okay.
So right there. All right, so this is one major thing that we're going to look at here. You can see text replacement is checked on the left-hand side. That's the option that we're looking at this time is text replacement. So what we've done is in the Find in Data column, that first column there, those are all the things that we're looking for within your MLS.
Oh.
Then the second column, the Replace With column, that's where you can customize it. Those are the abbreviations we've set up, but you can change those. A major one that gets changed in Southern California is that second one, combination heating, where we've set it up to be replaced with FWA. Most appraisers in California would rather have that say FAU. So you can just click right on FWA.
Click right here?
And just type FAU or whatever you want.
Okay, well, combination heating, I mean, is that not...
Okay, so what
really understand
FWA really stands for throughout most of the rest of the country is forced warm air.
Okay.
Where you guys are more familiar with, if you see FWA down 3 lines from there, forced air unit. So that's where you're using FAU.
That's true.
That's what you're more familiar with. If you want to leave the combination heating one as FWA so that it flags you that it's different then the forced air unit, you could do that too.
I do like the FAU. So then I'll want to change this also.
Yes, yes. All right, and then your other option is the third column with all the check marks, the enabled column. You can disable any of these. So
Okay.
if you never want, pellet wood burning stove to be reported as a heating type, you can uncheck it, and you can already see fireplace has already been unchecked as your default.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't come in. If the realtor puts it in as a heating source, it doesn't come in.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so then at that point in time, you're going to go ahead and click Apply and Save. All right, then we're going to go to the cooling type and click where it says Edit, not the red button. That's our red ring of death.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
what
want to
some
hit
of the
that.
guys call it, right?
Oh.
Don't touch that. All right, so this is a little bit shorter list here. So once again, anything that you want to replace, anything you want to uncheck, central air, we see all different kinds of ways that that's reported. C/air is what we've set up for you, but we see AC, we see CAC, we see central. So you, like I said, you literally can have it however you want it.
Okay.
This is just like Burger King. Okay.
That's great. I love it.
All right. So if you're happy with this, how you've got this set up, then go ahead and click Apply and Save. Now we're going to save the whole tag, so go ahead and click Save in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, and now you're going to click on Apply Changes. This will then make this change to every form, so you don't have to go in and customize each one individually.
Okay.
Now the other thing you'll notice is no changes were made on this page. Okay, that's because we've already pulled the data in.
Okay.
But if we send it to report again, those changes will all be made in your report.
Okay.
And from now on, it will be pulled into DataMaster in that format you just set up.
Excellent.
All right, so now we want to go to Garage Carport, the next one down, and click on Format Data for this one. This one's set up a little bit differently. We don't have a list, and so I want to show you how this works. So under Parking Garage Spaces, go ahead and click Edit for that one. Okay, and on the left-hand side, well, first, since we're here, I'll explain this to you. Data source preference is checked, and that's what's up. You have a choice on a lot of these fields as to whether you want the first priority to be Sandicor or you want it to be public records. So if you think that on garages that public records is more reliable, then you would just click on it and move it up. Click on your up button.
Okay.
Probably MLS is more reliable on this one.
Right.
So we just leave it. All right, so I want you to go on the left-hand side down to the next one that says Describe Number and click on that. All right, now what we're going to do here is, first of all, if there's no garage, right now it's just reporting a 0, and you can see that on Comp 5. It's just pulling in a 0. Would you rather have it say none or no garage?
Yeah, none.
Okay, so go ahead and type in none in that box you're in right now, and then uncheck the box on that line.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
so you can see the example on the right-hand side. So now if it's a 0, it'll just say none. Then you go to the next box down, still on the right-hand side in the text after box.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to automatically bring the number in. So click it, just click right there. And now give yourself a space. So there'll be a space between, and then you can type in, garage, car garage, however you want to have that appear on your line.
Okay.
Car guard, that one works too. Then the next box down from there, you want to do the exact same thing. The otherwise line, otherwise means 2 or more. So once again, we're going to bring in the number, whether it's 2, 3, and then put that CAR, GAR after it.
Okay.
So then go ahead and click Apply and Save. All right, then on this parking garage description, this is another one where you have to decide, do you really want this in here? Right now, on most of your comps, it's showing that it has an attached garage. Some appraisers want that to be on that line, and that's fine if they want it. That's why we put it in here for you.
Okay.
And so you could, once you go ahead and click on Edit, so you can just see what the different,
Right here?
There you go. That Edit. So you can see what the different things are that are possible to be brought in here.
I don't want that attached.
Okay, so you can come in here and you can do what you're doing now where you uncheck them and change them, or if you don't think that you would ever want any of this information in here, you can just delete that part of the tag, and a lot of appraisers do that because they just want it to say two-car garage.
Okay, so
that your two options are come in here, edit it through here, and pick out ones that, yes, you would want to see, or say, I don't want this at all, and just delete the tag entirely.
Oh,
so which do you want to do?
Well, I like to see sometimes the tandem and underground.
Okay, great. Then we'll just uncheck the ones you don't want, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, and the converted will sometimes notify me of when the agent might have still put two-car, but then they add converted, so I say, oh, okay, well, it's not really a car storage anymore. So
that's right.
I like to see that too. So
okay.
I'll get rid of
great.
That. Nice.
Okay, so go ahead and click Apply and Save. And then once again, we'll save the whole tag. So click Save down there and Apply Changes. Okay, now, so that's one way to get to the customizing is you see it right on this screen and you click Format Data. There is another way to get to the customizing where we can do those extra fields, for example, and that's to go up to the top left and click on Customize Forms. And then you're just going to go ahead and choose your top one, the 1004 UAD. And then you always want to maximize this screen just to make it easier to see everything.
Okay.
So we're going to talk first here about those extra items. So they're in the second column, about halfway down. You can see where we've got fireplaces and pool amenities. So the second column to your right.
Okay.
There we go. All right, about halfway down, do you see where we've got fireplaces?
Let's see.
And you wanted to change that to be seller. So it says extra item, label 1, fireplaces. There you go. All right, go ahead and click on the edit button for that. And what we're going to have you do is just delete it and type in seller. So this is actually your description that's going to be on the far left-hand side of your report. Okay. So then go ahead and click Save on that and Apply Changes. Now we're going to go to the next line down where it says 1FP. Click on Edit for that one. And we're going to delete the fireplace tag. And then go ahead and you're going to click on the red button again.
Oh, that's right.
So if it's an actual tag, that's how you do it. Now on the left-hand side, actually what I want you to do is click into the search bar and type in seller. You can scroll down if you want to, but this is probably the fastest way. So probably want to choose seller name. And let's just see what happens when it goes into the report. Okay? And then save that and apply changes. All right, now we're going to go to extra item label 2, pool amenities. Click on your edit button for that. This one you've got to click in there to delete it.
Okay.
So where it says pool amenities, you want to delete that and put in off-market type or date. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, you got it. Okay, so save that and apply changes. All right, and then extra item 2 where it says spa. Click on the edit button for that one. Click on your, actually, this is another thing you can do. To get rid of everything on the line, click on the clear button. So you've got those buttons in between, add, remove, clear. Click on that if you want to get rid of everything in the line.
Okay.
All right. All right, so now we're going to look for off-market date, which could be called a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you use that search bar and you can type in, aren't we lucky?
it's in there off
All right,
market.
so go ahead and click on the add button. Now, I do want you to edit this one.
Okay.
And what we're going to look at here is the date format. So click on date format. It's already got it selected if you choose it, okay, to do month, day, and then the year. You can use any of these formats. So how do you want that to look?
That's good.
Okay, so then if you click apply, then see now it's got that date format, right? Checked, so we know it's active, it's working, and then save it.
Okay.
Okay, and then save again and apply changes. All right, we're going to go to the third one, which as the default, we've left it blank. Go ahead and click on extra item label 3, click on the edit button for that, and you're going to set that up to say listing type. and then save and apply changes. Okay, and then extra item 3, click on edit and we'll do a search here. So once again, in your search bar, type in listing. I'm not sure if this is going to be in here or not. Listing status. Doesn't look like it. Is there any other thing it could be called?
Yeah, because I know it's imports, like when on the sales, it'll say like listing type and it'll have a REO in there. So I wonder where it's...
Okay, that's called financing type.
Okay, yeah.
Now that's going to bring in, if it's an REO, a short sale, your FHA, VA, those things. Is that what you're looking for?
It's close enough. I don't think there's any other way of getting it because it's under like a mandatory remarks section on my MLS, but it's not always in there. But if I have financing type and it's the main ones I'm looking for anyhow is short sale, REO, and just, you know, if it's typical.
Okay. So financing type is just going to bring in probably with the word spelled out. Financing type UAD will have it abbreviated. So conventional will be CONV.
Okay.
That's probably the main abbreviation. Everything else is FHA, VA, cash. Totally up to you which one you use, and you can always come back in and change it.
Yeah, I'll just try it UAD.
So click on the add button again. Okay, and then save and apply changes. All right, so those are the major fields that I usually go over. Are there any specific lines or questions you have here?
You know, just for the sake of doing one more, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
On my porch patio line, porch patio deck, I would like to have that, I guess, can it import any type of data on that, or?
Yeah, click edit.
What I normally put is porch patio, like by default. I'll go and customize it, but I usually will put porch patio and the pool all on that one line because that's the only place I could put the pool.
Okay. So first thing you're going to want to do, if you always want it to say porch patio, then we're going to delete this tag and we're just going to type that in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so go ahead and type in porch/patio or however you would want that to be. All right, now on the left-hand side, we're going to, I just want you to scroll down this time so they can see that you can just scroll down. So scroll down to where it'd be pool. These are alphabetical. Okay, and then add that. Okay, go ahead and click on the edit button for this one. And then I want you to click on text replacement. So this is a little more complicated. This is customizing, 201 instead of 101.
Okay.
But sometimes we have lists that already exist, all right, and pool is one of them. So underneath this big box here, in tiny letters, it says import existing over towards the right. So down and to your right. Now click on that. Now, where I want you to do is hover over where it says extra item 2. You'd think it would be under pool, but it's not.
Okay.
So you see where it says extra item 2?
Yeah.
Hover there. Okay, so there's your pool options. So go ahead and just click on it, on extra item 2, and that brings in the whole list.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
Now, we've defaulted this to only have certain ones up here, so below ground, private, and then your spa information. Okay, but we've got a whole list in here, so if you wanted to add some of these, scroll up a little more to the top. Okay, so if you wanted an exercise pool to be counted or a lap pool to be counted, then you could check the box.
Okay.
And you could type in pool, or I think it'd probably default to like exercise. Go ahead and check on one of them. Let's see what actually comes in. Then check over where it says nothing will be imported. Just click over there. Okay, so we've abbreviated it to EXC, but you could spell it out, you could type in pool. So that's how that would work. So that's an option, is to check things.
Okay.
All right. Another thing that you can do is if you know that there's something, or you've seen it in your report or in a listing that would be in this field that we don't have in here, you can add to this list.
Okay.
Okay? So, for example, I don't see anyone in here that just says pool in this list.
Right.
Okay, and maybe you don't have that come in as an option, but let's pretend that you do, just so I can show you how to do this. So scroll all the way down, and at the very bottom of the list, under where it says yes, click on the next line down and type in pool. Okay, so you found an option that we haven't thought of and haven't covered, and then so you're adding it to the list, and then in the center column, the replace with, you'll type in pool there also, because that's what you would want for this particular one. But let's say it was something else. Let's say they had, I don't know, above ground pool.
Yeah.
And you, I know most appraisers don't count that and don't adjust for it, but you could bring that in. So it would say, in the find in data, it would say, you would spell it out because you want an exact match to what the realtors are doing.
Right.
Okay, so that we can find it. And then in your center column, you could abbreviate it however you want. These two just happen to match this time.
Okay.
Okay? And then you'd go ahead and, I don't know if you want that exercise pool, if you want to leave that checked or not.
Let's get rid of the exercise pool just in case. Okay.
Okay, and then so go ahead and click your apply and save. All right, and then we'll go ahead and save the whole tag.
Wow, that's great.
Okay. Did you want to make any changes on that verification source line, or did you like having the doc number and the
No,
the doc date coming in?
I like all that, and the concessions. I think that's pretty much the good idea to do when you start using DataMaster is just keep a little list of things that you would like to change and customize, and then just make changes to your templates on a weekly basis, or make changes within DataMaster for the first couple weeks. And if you need help, just call their sales office. But the sooner that you make those changes, you won't lag for like 2 years like I did.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And in our demo, we will actually go over the customizing with you, and we'll spend as much time with you on that as you want to, because we understand as the sales team that the more you get it customized, the more you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're willing to spend that extra 10, 15 minutes to get it customized, to get it the way that you want it to be.
Yeah, and you can see it's not that hard, and it makes a lot of sense. But when we get super busy doing appraisals and everything like that, sometimes there are those delays, but try to customize it as much as possible. If you ever find yourself typing in data over and over and over, like I have been with my seller information, the off-market date, and the listing type, this is going to save me a bunch of time on my next report.
Exactly.
Can we see how that was imported?
Absolutely. So go ahead and close it. So you've got a close button. You can use the red X, or it says close down at the bottom of the page. Either one will work for you.
Okay. And
okay, so then we're just going to go ahead and click on Send to Report again in the bottom right-hand corner. And we're going to send the subject. So we want to say yes for the subject, and then say yes for the comps, but then say no on the market conditions. We don't need to send that again.
Yeah, I like that.
We've already sent this information in, and we're not going to, it won't delete it. So you can just click Do Not Use Public Records Data on each one of these, just to go through it really quickly.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah. Just a few little tricks of the trade,
Yeah, that speeds things up, because sometimes you'll take out a comp, or you'll add some new comps, and I was always going through and reselecting those, so that's great to know.
Okay, so now we should see those changes. Okay,
Wow.
Let's look at the seller line.
That's awesome.
So you can see, this might not fit quite the way you want. You can go back and customize that some more, or maybe it's just a matter of you've got the husband and wife's name, and you don't need both of them.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do there.
Yeah,
okay?
You still have to verify everything, so I like to at least be able to see it and then make the changes after the point. That's great.
Okay, now one thing you can see on that porch, patio, deck line, apparently there weren't any pools. And so if you wanted to go back to customize that to where if there isn't any information coming in, it'll say no pool.
Okay.
then that's an option that you have also.
Okay, that makes sense.
What else did we change? We changed mainly those. What was the other one that we changed? Oh, well, we changed garage.
Oh, yeah, the garages.
The two-car garage. We changed the heating.
Yeah, so it has none here.
So those all came in.
And if you don't like the gar, you could spell out garage and...
Absolutely. However you want it to be. Design style is often one where, people want things spelled out, so that's easy to do that. You just go into that list. It'll be a text replacement one, and you can spell those out, the ones that you're using most of the time.
Wow. Yeah, that.
Okay, so that's essentially how to customize. Can you think of any other questions on that?
No, I think that pretty much lays it out. You just got to remember that, you could customize every field here. So, unless it's a UAD requirement or something. But
you still can customize those. We just don't recommend it.
Okay. Good
idea.
Be kicked
back.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. And along with productivity, the more you standardize your templates across all of your vendors, import the same data for each report, you just will save so much time. It's incredible. So I thank you so much for the presentation on the customization and the software. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell us about the software before I let you go?
We didn't cover price at all, and the prices do vary depending on the area. We're working on standardizing them, but we haven't yet, so I don't really want to go over price with you, but I do want to say that it's once again it's a month-to-month subscription. So, and you've got the 2-week free trial to test it out. And when we do that trial, it's the full version. We're not holding anything back, and so you'll really be able to see if it works for you.
Yeah.
Why don't I give you the phone number again?
That'd be great.
It's 888-362-9222, and you'll probably put that into your website somewhere anyway.
Yeah, it'll be on the website and the video.
Just give us a call and start saving time.
Okay, and they could download the demo at datamasterusa.com.
That's where you download the trial. The
trial,
to actually have a demo, then you're going to want to call us.
That's right. It's not a demo. You don't sell a demo version. And it's more like a training.
No,
right.
No, it's not a demo version. And we really want to do this training with you, so that you can get it set up the way that you want, and we'll do it exactly the same way as we did today, where it's hands-on. Not us just taking over control of your computer, but hands-on so that you have the experience. So afterwards, you don't have to be like, I have no idea what just happened.
Right.
You will have done it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we also have tutorials that we'll send as a follow-up so that you don't have to remember everything that we said.
Yeah. And regarding the price, I would pay almost anything for a service like this. It's an amazing deal. You could try to outsource this for anywhere between $15 to $30 a report. You could pay someone to do it for you. That's going to cost you a small fortune over the long run. For me, I think it averages maybe $2 a report, if that. It's such a tiny cost that all I could say is don't think about the cost. Don't even think about the cost benefit at this point. Just give it a try and see really how much this is going to save you in the preparation of the reports. So I really love it. And I know actually in my area, I think you guys were offering a per use package.
Yes, we do. We have an unlimited version and we have a pay per use. So depending on how many appraisals, I believe you're on unlimited because you're doing so many, and that's where you've been able to get the cost down to like $2 an appraisal because you're doing a lot. Okay, but if you have a little bit smaller business, we do have that pay per use option, and I can tell you that runs $4 or $5 an appraisal.
Okay.
So that's it's not a huge cost for the amount of time that you're going to save. You have more time to spend with your family, or more time to spend golfing, or more time to do more reports,
Yeah, well,
Your choice.
Appraisers, we just don't think of our true worth and value enough. And if you really value your time and you're saying, okay, my time is worth $100, $200 an hour, you shouldn't be typing reports for 2 hours a day. There's just no reason. If you can't hire someone to come into your office and type your reports, then you should at least get DataMaster import the data for you. And if you do have someone type in your reports and you're not going to get away from that, you don't want to get away from that, have them use DataMaster. They will be
they will love
much
it.
productive. Yeah.
Yeah, they will love you for that.
Exactly.
If you let them use DataMaster, it will save them a lot of time.
Yeah, everyone that I know that still have typists to import different stuff into their reports, sketches or photos that they took, they all use DataMaster. So it's a major time saving, and then you're not paying them as much per hour. So, think of really what you're worth. You just have to give it a try. So, Teresa, thanks again for doing this training session with me and walking me through this and customizing my form some more. I'll have to give you a call more often. And
yes, do that.
Thanks again. And
thank you, Brian, for letting us, spend this time with you.
Great.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you, and you take care.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Okay. Well, great. Thank you.
All right, I think that went really well.